Oh, I'm starting the intro?
This time.
Oh, I never start the intro. I don't know what to do. Welcome back to Just for Fun. That
went swimmingly.
Welcome back to For Fun for Glory. Some more E3 discussions.
Woot.
Woot woot. Today we will be discussing, so what's the real way to pronounce it? Is it Ubisoft or is it Ubisoft? I hear like 8 different things.
You know what? I think because it originated in Montreal, I think it is Ubisoft.
I totally say Ubisoft.
I know, everybody says
I totally
Ubisoft.
say Ubisoft.
I think it is Ubisoft, though.
I think it's Ubisoft. Anyways, so starting off with like Ubisoft's press conference, they did Just Dance, whatever 2000. I think
19?
I think they did 18.
No,
2018?
18's out. It must have been 19.
Must have been 19. I don't know.
There was a lot of cool montage of songs.
There was a panda. There's always a panda.
I think
at
he's
Ubisoft.
the mascot for Just Dance.
It must be, because I posted that, like, we have a Facebook group, and I posted that. I'm like, why is there always a panda at Ubisoft? And our friend Anthony's like, I never remember a panda. And I'm like,
yeah.
I was seriously thinking, I'm like, before I shot this, there's going to be, like, a fucking panda. Oh, there's Dance Panda.
They just had to open with it this time. They're like, Mitch knows. He's on to us. We just got to reveal the panda.
Just a panda. There was just a fucking panda. It was weird.
Yeah.
And then that lasted like 10 minutes. This montage.
Oh yeah.
I'm honestly getting tired of like the musical montages at E3.
Yeah.
Like Bethesda. We'll get into that later. They did like a rock band played for like 5 or 10 minutes, and it was
for
good.
like no reason.
Well, it was the theme song to Rage 2.
Yeah.
They did that. Ubisoft, they did this, and then they did that. No, and then they did. I didn't silence my phone. You didn't silence your phone?
I'm working on it. I elbowed your computer.
That sounded fun.
Yay!
And then they did the theme song to the Donkey Kong Adventures.
The Rabbids.
The Rabbids.
Yeah.
Which was good because while they were doing that, they showed gameplay, it didn't take away from E3.
Yeah, so that was
And
cool.
then Sony just did like 20 minutes of, oh, here's the guy playing a flute, here's the guy playing the guitar, and it was completely pointless because they had absolutely no content to show.
We'll get to Sony. We're bitter.
Going back to Ubisoft, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
The gameplay looked neat.
The gameplay looked neat. It was just it was the closed alpha they showed, so it wasn't the definitely final product.
The cutscene looked really well done.
Yeah, the in-game graphics looked great. It's a prequel to
The first
Beyond
one.
Good and Evil.
Yeah.
So I need to really play both those games. I've been meaning to.
And I heard they're gonna re-release Beyond Good and Evil 1.
They'll probably do it, because I already know it's backwards on.
Oh yeah, it is. It is backwards compatible on.
But I can see the way gaming's going. Here's the ultimate edition of Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Newly rendered graphics.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good.
Sometimes it's good, but I just get disappointed when they do remasters because, like, I know there's nothing else coming. Like, no DLC, no.
Yeah.
It's just like
Gears of War 1. It I don't know. It looked like Gears 3. Like, because Gears of War 1 came out like the beginning of the Xbox 360 life cycle, pretty close to anyways, and Gears 3 came out right at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it still was like a bit of a graphical upgrade, but you're still playing Gears 1.
Yeah, you're still playing Gears 1, but they did add the PC exclusive chapter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which was actually really cool. It did add like 2 hours worth to the game, and it added to the story, which I liked.
All right, back to Ubisoft.
Back to Ubisoft.
It was really cool that Joseph Gordon-Levitt came out and like basically said like, hey, if you want like your art, your character designs, your music, and like literally anything in Beyond Good and Evil 2, like hit up like this website. I can't remember what it's called right now.
We'll find it. We'll throw it up on the screen here.
Yeah, but like that was really cool because like there's like anybody can be a gamer and anybody wants to be like a gamer designer, and like if you want your stuff to be known, like this is gonna be probably a huge game because people have been waiting for it since the GameCube.
Exactly.
That's when the first Beyond Good and Evil came out. So
like that was really cool how like they're actually getting people involved, and that's where I like that's the one thing that this industry is going to more towards the fans.
Yeah.
And then again, things that bug me about E3 this year, Rainbow Vegas Siege, they talked 15 minutes, I believe, 15 minutes, I don't know, about the Rainbow Vegas Siege documentary, Another Mindset.
Sure.
Like, it's about what went into the game. Ooh,
not an actual
so
game.
Cool. Like,
it's like talking about a game.
seriously. It's like, come on, guys, get it together.
That's what it was.
They did another Trials Rising, the dirt bike game.
Yeah, and I liked Trials Fusion, I think is what it was called.
Like,
that was probably the only
games.
Trials game that I beat.
They're fun games. I remember playing that like back in public school when you had like the computer lab time.
Yeah.
And you go there and they're like, all right, you have like the last 10 minutes of class. You can do whatever you want. You go to like miniclips.com.
Yeah.
So like it looked nice, but I didn't like. Who really cares? Like it's
basically a puzzle game for dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
you have to make it to the end of the course
without dying.
Yeah.
So like it looks cool, but that's not something I'm gonna put money towards.
No, and like I think Trials Fusion was almost like full price. I think it was like $50 or something when it first came out.
Like
but then I think it became either a Games with Gold or it was like $10, and that's why I got it.
Games with Gold.
Oh yeah, that's how it was. Yeah. So
so like Ubisoft, they started off pretty weak. Like Beyond Good and Evil 2 was awesome, but they started off pretty.
The cutscene was insane.
Exactly. Like
it was awesome.
None of the characters look like how they look.
No.
Because they just completely. It looked like you were talking to a giant pig.
Yes.
Like it actually did. It didn't look like a cartoon.
Yeah.
So they started off pretty weak, and then they got into Division 2.
Which I'm
excited
for. I like the first one.
I like Division 1. It looked good, and then so it takes place several months later after the first one in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really cool. And then they started talking about seasons. They're like, we're gonna be doing like every so how long, like Fortnite does, like For Honor does, like Rainbow Vegas. We're gonna have seasons, and in each season there's 3 like expansions that will come out.
Right.
So right then and there they lost me.
Yeah, it's true, because they're like, oh, we're not gonna release the full game right away,
but
we're just gonna give you segments of game.
But they came back to it, and they finished off with, it will all be 100% free.
Oh, awesome! So that makes that's okay.
The game is just going to be constantly being updated, which again sucks because you're not getting the full game, but you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, because I miss the good old days when like I could just sit through a game and like beat everything in it, and that was pretty much the GameCube, OG Xbox, PS2 game days.
Even early Xbox 360.
Yeah, but like now it's like you beat the game, and then they're like, but wait, there's more. And
for $100 extra,
like,
you can get this hat.
Way later. Like, don't get me wrong, like, this is a good example. Like, Dark Souls 3 is probably, like, one of my favorite games of, like, all time. Mm-hmm. And there was 3 DLC packs, I think?
2, I believe.
Oh, 2, yeah. The first one came out a year after the game. Like, the only reason I was, like, still playing it because I was doing, like, New Game Plus and, like, stuff like that. But then after I beat like that first DLC, I was like, holy shit, that was really good. And then I think you had to wait like 5 or 6 more months for like the second DLC, and I was just like, man, just like give me a new Dark Souls instead. Seriously. Or something. Like
seriously. And like,
and that DLC was so hard.
Oh my fucking
god, the second
I couldn't
DLC
get past
was
the
so
first
fucking
boss.
hard.
I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, fuck it, New Game Plus.
You know what? On New Game Plus, I was level 198, and the DLC 2 is still hard for me.
Oh yeah, it's
well, I don't get it. Like I was like maxed out.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid crazy. But Division 2, like gameplay looked awesome.
It does, yeah.
Again, it kind of scares me because gameplay of Division looked awesome, and then don't get me wrong. Now, like I said, I have the 1X and a 4K TV, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. So.
And like
they can't really like even with like highly rendered PC, they can't get much better than what the Scorpio's at now.
Oh no.
So when they make games, it'll look like what they show.
Yeah.
And kind of going back to our Xbox discussion, when they released Cyberpunk 2077. The thing that, like, it looks like a great game. I want to play it. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I love The Witcher, but the closed demo that they showed, but like the behind closed doors and everything, they were playing it on like a $10,000 PC.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what they were playing on. They weren't playing it on console. They weren't playing it on. They were playing it on this fucking monster of a computer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's what people are going to expect the game to be, but you can't.
And they gave it the best in show too.
Exactly, because like it was teased 5 years ago, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, a while ago.
Yeah, I think like around The Witcher 2.
Before Xbox One.
And then it went dead quiet. And now they're just like, by the way, it comes out next year.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck. I mean, the way gaming's going, it'll come out in like 7 years. But
back to Ubisoft.
Back to Ubisoft. I get too excited with E3. I can't fucking stand one thing.
All good.
Mario Rabbids. They did the DK Adventures DLC. This is more like, I don't know if you saw the game.
Yeah, I went back and I watched the gameplay.
This is probably more of a you thing talking about. I never played the Mario and Rabbids.
Me neither. But like from what I've heard, and I've watched my brother play it, and Anthony has it as well. It's basically like XCOM with Mario characters and Rabbids, but it's like so refined and so well done. And like people are calling it like one of the best games on the Switch. Like, I might pick it up if it like drops in price sometime soon. But when they were showing off DK, they were actually doing like a really good job, or the DK Adventure thing, because they were doing a good job because they showed DK and then like 2 other new characters. I think it was like a cranky rabbit and then someone else. I
think the final boss is like a DK rabbit.
Yeah, but it was really cool because it actually like. It was a good gameplay demo because it actually showed off like what DK can do and what the cranky rabbit does, like without showing too much of like what the extra story expansion adds. So, no, I thought that was good, and like people who like that game are probably happy that it has an expansion. Also a year later, that game came out in August last year. So,
but like I never played the game, and it was one of those things like it never looked interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go out and spend $80 on the game.
Well, yeah,
it's Canada prices.
It was one of those like off the wall projects where it was just like, what the fuck, Mario and Rabbids in an RPG together?
Exactly.
Like what?
I was really confused because when I went, I didn't watch Ubisoft live.
Last year?
This year.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I was at work, and when I came home, like, okay, fuck it, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So I turned it on and I'm watching it, and then there was this huge like intro of this game, and I'm looking and I'm like, all right, like they're making a big deal about Mario and Rabbids. Cool, it's been out for a while. And then they're like, now introducing Mario and Rabbids Adventures. And I'm like,
DK Adventures.
I'm watching this. I'm like, oh shit, this is a completely wrong Ubisoft conference. This was last year. I'm like, fuck. I was getting so excited, but I'm like, why are they making a huge deal about
That's hilarious.
This game? And then they talked about Skull and Bones. So like the more serious version of Sea of Thieves.
It honestly is like Assassin's Creed 4.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's all the pirate stuff from Assassin's Creed 4.
I know you said you didn't like it.
But
I liked it because that was the newest thing in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The pirate battles, and it was fun. It wasn't overly complicated.
I didn't mind the pirate battles. It was I did mind the pirate battles because like when you got really far in the game and you fully upgrade your assassin, and then you do one mission, and it's just like, your ship is not upgraded enough to do this. And I just spent all my money and resources updating my guy instead of my ship. And, like, you would get, like, squashed. Like, you thought you'd be doing okay. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm shooting this ship. I'm doing some good damage. And then, like, he'd shoot some fucking, like, ballistic missile cannon thing that would wipe your ship in one hit. And I was like, what?
Yeah. But, like...
It took me out of the game, but...
like, Skull and Bones, it brings everything that I wanted to see in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
It brings it into, like, a pirate game. So... Probably not full price, but it's a game I would look at picking up.
Yeah, it's like Sea of Thieves is like, oh, let's have fun and dick around with your friends. Skull and Bones is like the rated R version of Sea of Thieves.
Let's have fun and fuck over my friends.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Let's murder some people and pillage and stuff.
And then the next surprise at Ubisoft was having, wow, I'm blanking his name, Frodo. What's his name? Elijah Wood. He came out introducing a game he's working on called Transference. It's just called Transference.
Oh.
You can play it in VR and traditional.
Oh.
And it mixes movie with game.
Oh, so kind of like
Quantum Break. But it's not like what you do in the game affects the movie.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think the cutscenes are movie.
Oh, nice.
Like, they actually filmed it. I mean, I know they used to do that back in the day with games and shit, but, like, this is, like, a highly end, like, production company.
Nice.
And it's a horror game.
Oh, nice.
It's a horror game.
I actually didn't see anything on this one, so.
I'm trying to remember. It's been, like, Morgan's been working like crazy. I've been fucking busy.
I worked like 8 days straight. I'm fucking
We're
tired.
recording this a little late, and we're fucking exhausted. I'm trying to remember what. You play through the subconscious of everyone in this family. I think the dad's a little crazy.
Oh.
You play like he puts this kid into something, and you're playing through everyone's subconscious or whatever. And it looks. They didn't show a lot on what it was.
Right.
But it looked good. That'd be one of the things, like, I would go and spend the $8 billion on the PSVR just to play that in VR.
True. Yeah.
But, like, and it looked cool. Like, it was new. And I didn't expect Elijah Wood to come out.
Yeah. Sounds like a new idea, too.
Yeah, it is really new. So,
yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah. And then, Starlink.
Yes.
That game,
fucking like
it was one of those things. Like I saw the game, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then it's one of those like, what's that game with the little creatures? Skylanders. You gotta buy like things you put on the controller. So I'm like,
same creator.
Yeah, no, I'm like, that doesn't really like do anything for me.
No, and like I'm not gonna go out and spend like hundreds of dollars on toy ships.
No,
but.
Then they announced on the Nintendo Switch, exclusively, you can go out and buy Star Fox's Arrowing and play as Star Fox.
Yeah, like
that was amazing.
I think that was what like now like there's a rumor that like Nintendo is working on like a Star Fox racing game.
Yeah.
And the last Star Fox game, like Star Fox Zero, like was a remake of the first game, and it just like shit the bed hard. Like me and Anthony beat it in like 2.5 hours. It was bad. And we're huge Star Fox fans. So, like, when we saw this announcement, we're like, what? Is Ubisoft making a Star Fox game?
That's what I thought, too.
Holy shit.
And essentially they are, because...
They are. I actually watched some of the gameplay from it. It looks like a Star Fox game.
But so I'm not necessarily going to go out and buy that game.
No.
But depending on the price, I'm going to buy that fucking Arrowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it looks amazing. And then they had, God, what's his name from Nintendo at the conference?
Oh, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had him, and
he was because he was at the last one too because of Mario Rabbids.
And he was just he lost his shit when they like, here's the prototype of the Arrowing.
I know, and he was probably so happy because Star Fox is his baby.
Yeah, seriously. So really, that was like the most exciting things for me at Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They did another For Honor series. They introduced more characters that they're gonna...
Like, For Honor was one of my most anticipated games, like,
don't you have it and haven't even opened it yet?
No, I do have it, and I played it for, like, maybe, like, 12 hours, but it just, I don't know, I'm not hooked to it.
Yeah.
It's just not for me, and I thought it would be, but,
yeah.
And I think it's because, like, if you don't play it, like, every single day, you don't hone your skills as a knight or a samurai, and, like, yeah, and then everybody just, like, wrecks you, and then it's just not fun, like any other shooter.
Yeah, and so that did nothing for me. The Crew 2, the first one I liked, but I put maybe 6 hours into the game, and I'm like, I'm bored.
Yeah, those kind of games aren't really for me anymore.
Yeah, like, I miss the old, like, Need for Speed Underground 2 games.
Man.
Like, when Need for
Bring
Speed...
that back.
When Need for Speed Rivals came out, I'm like, I'm getting that game 100%. And I did, and I got close to the end of the game, but then they throw a loop, and they're like, all right, so upgrade your drag racing car so you can go, like, in a straight line really fast. I'm like, all right, so I did that, and I had, like, top-of-the-line drag racing car. And then they're like, okay, now you have to do this winding path race against 5 other cars. I'm like, my car can't turn. without going off a cliff.
Yeah.
So
No, Need for Speed Rivals was really good.
yeah, I liked it, and the Crew 2 again really did nothing for me.
No.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it looked good. It has a great concept to it. First time you can play either choose between a male or a female.
Yeah, which is kind of like Syndicate.
Syndicate,
you could be like a brother,
but didn't
sister
you play
duo.
as both of them in
You
Syndicate?
did play as both
So
of
this
them
you
because they
either
both
play-
had like story elements.
Yeah, this you either play as the guy or the girl.
Yeah.
100% if I get the game, I'm playing as a girl.
But I'll play as the guy.
And it's just one of those things like Aaron on Game Grumps, he said like, why when you have the choice between playing between a guy and a girl, why do you want to stare at a guy's ass for the entire game? So since then I'm like, it's not wrong.
Sometimes it's like a story element thing.
Yeah.
Like this is a little off topic, but like the two Fire Emblem 3DS games, the first one, Awakening, you play as like a character that you make, and like since it was like I was like, oh, you get to make a character, like I made me, and like
yeah,
and like it worked, it made sense. You bro out with the main character, it makes a lot of sense. But if you pick a girl, you can't fall in love with the main character because the main character gets married by like the 6th chapter, and relationships aren't introduced till the 5th chapter. So you can't really, it really didn't work out if you picked a girl.
Yeah.
Because I always like married my bro's sister. Like it just kind of worked out like that way. That's just every time I played it, it's like, no, yeah, she's cool. I'm gonna marry her. But then the second one that came out, Fire Emblem Fates, you play as like a prince or a princess, and like your best friend is a girl and she's like a dancer or something, whatever. So it makes sense if you're a guy.
Yeah.
But the story is like way better if you're a girl, and like it just makes more sense that you're a girl because like you were missing for so long, and like it's hard to explain it if you actually like play the game, but it makes more sense to be a girl in that game, and it makes more sense to be a guy in the first game. But for Assassin's Creed, it really doesn't matter. No. And like this one's ancient Greece, so it's really cool. If it plays anything like Rise.
Oh, like
Did
Rise.
you ever play Rise?
Yeah.
Rise was so good.
It was good. Disappointing.
It was disappointing.
I was really disappointing.
It was supposed to be a trilogy, and then they just ended it with the first game, and I was like, why?
Because when I beat the first game, they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna continue from this in the next game. I'm like,
yeah.
How?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
But anyways, going back to Ubisoft, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I have been since the second game. Yes, I said second, not the first.
First game, it was so much like find your target, find where he goes, kill him, cutscene.
I just one thing that they fixed in all the other Assassin's Creed games is the first game. It's like, oh, it's your first time in like a video game simulator other than the Grand Theft Auto that you get to go around and like murder people, but in like a professional, like old-fashioned like way.
Yeah.
And then if you did it and someone saw you, you were like ridiculed for like the rest of the game, and it was just like, well, that just like ruined it for me. Like,
yeah.
And then when you find out it's a simulation, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, the whole series is like a simulation.
Yeah.
But what I like about the Assassin's Creed series is like how historically accurate it is.
For the most part. Well,
yeah.
I
mean, I haven't beaten Origins yet.
Yeah.
It's not really historically accurate. But the other ones
It's not historically accurate, but the setting is.
Yes, of
like,
course.
How
Egypt used to look before
they made a pyramid in that game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're going to like put like a secret passage here in this pyramid."
Yeah.
And then archaeologists went back to the same pyramid because it's real.
Yeah.
And where they put this secret tunnel, there was a tunnel in that pyramid.
And that's so cool.
So like
Ubisoft does their homework.
They do. And so they're really accurate and not necessarily like what happens.
Yeah.
But the setting is always like accurate.
Yeah.
Like it looks like Venice, it looks like ancient Egypt,
ancient
Greece,
like steampunk London.
Like it all is fairly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So
and this one's ancient Greece, and ancient Greece is like my favorite historical period. So like, and it looks like gameplay from Origins, and I thought that gameplay was really well done. Like really, it refined the Assassin's Creed series.
And the one thing that they're doing in this game that they haven't done in any other one is you can choose your dialogue.
Yes.
Which
and
is very
I'm
nice.
pretty happy about that.
That's really nice. That's what I like about it. my thing, and like I said, I think I've said this in every conference like we've talked about so far, is these open world games, I get overwhelmed. Like you get like 8 different missions going at a time, and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like what? I just feel like claustrophobic with missions. It's like, I get it, huge open world, have longer missions.
Yeah.
That like World of Warcraft does. I mean, World of Warcraft, you get like 100 missions at a time, but like one mission leads into another mission.
Yeah.
Leads into another, and that's just a side mission. I'm like, I would love to do that. Bang out like 8 missions in one mission.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I get it, because in Assassin's Creed Origin, you would go and you would murder this guy. It's like, okay, now go find this pelt. And it was like, okay, now carry this body over here. And it was just like, oh, and now you have to go like way to the opposite side of the map and explore this cave. Like, there are a lot of side missions. But what I liked about that is they did it kind of in oh shit, what's the one that's in France with the French Revolution?
Unity.
Unity. They kind of added like this RPG like element starting from there, and like you level up your character in that, and like that's really cool. And Origins took it to like a whole new level. Like I was level like 34, and like all the enemies were like level 14, just because I did like all the side missions and upgraded my shit. Like that's really cool.
Like when I played Horizon Zero Dawn, I did like. You haven't played it at all, right?
No, I own it, but I should play it.
There's like a prologue, like you start in your little village.
Yeah.
Prologue, something happens, and that's when the open world aspect starts.
Yeah.
Like almost every open world game.
Yeah.
Once I got past, like, there's like I think 3 story missions in the prologue.
Yeah.
I did those 3 missions, and then after that, I branched off and I did everything.
Nice.
Except the story mission. I was top level, max level of everything by the time I started the first story mission.
Nice. I want to do something like that.
And like I found all the kind of like in the Far Cry's and the original Assassin's Creed, the viewpoint, the waypoints.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I found all of those. I discovered every creature.
Nice.
I max leveled almost everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll do the story. And by the time I did the story, I was already 60 hours into that game. It was. That's
so awesome.
But it's because I wasn't overwhelmed with missions.
Yeah.
There was like 1 or 2 missions. It's like, okay, you do 1 or 2 missions. Okay, 2 more appear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I like. So kind of go back to like what I was saying. Like,
yeah,
I like it that way. Like, let me do some, and then a couple more will appear, and then let me do those, and then after I do those, a couple more appear. Not you go into a town. There's like, oh, at every corner of the city, in like a triangle pattern throughout the city is like 100 missions that I can start.
Yeah.
It's like I get overwhelmed, and that actually turns me off from the game.
Yeah. So going back to Ubisoft,
shot every time we say that.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks good. Coming out this year, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Don't have to wait another year.
And like they waited a year in between what was it?
Syndicate and
Origin. So they waited a year.
But they completely changed it.
They completely changed it. So I give this like they'll do this for 4 games and then they'll
because it like Origins kind of introduced like a brand new engine almost.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so different from the other ones. And I think that's
they're
what
not
they're
using
doing.
Unreal, are they?
No. And that's what I mean. Like I think that's what they're using for Odyssey as well. So it's easy to like copy and paste elements from that game and bring it into this one. Just change the setting a bit.
So that's pretty much what
that was Ubisoft
did, and it was really good. It was one of the better conferences.
Yeah, for sure.
I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So because
7.5 seems fair.
Yeah, because I was disappointed with some things like the documentary, the music,
there was some like, why did you bring this here if this is about gaming?
But other than that, like, they did things that were surprising, like as small as the free DLC in Division. That was awesome. The Star Fox.
Yeah, that was
the
insane.
Transference. All that. It was like, holy shit, that's kind of cool. Like, there was times I actually like sat up. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, seems fair.
So it seemed fair to you?
Yep.
All right. So that was Ubisoft, even with all our jumping all over the place to different things.
We mainly discussed Ubisoft.
Mainly. All right. Thanks for joining us, and next time we will be talking more E3.
All right.
For fun and for glory.
Woo!